Just fucking be as blunt as you can. Because these guys will say ridiculous things to you, and why you can't say nothing back to them? Ridiculous off the wall. Like, fuck it. Like, you know, it's a male-dominated industry. Guys are crazy. When you're the only female around a bunch of guys, like, you know, you have to be extra tough. And I learned that from being outside in the Bronx and being in mad gangs and stuff like that. You have to be just as tough as the guys. Like, you know, I'm very blunt and I'm outspoken. If I don't like something, I'm gonna say that shit. And I'm probably gonna say it like 10 times, you know? And I don't care about looking like a bitch, like, you know, because I'm gonna get caught that motherfucker regardless. I might as well put some action behind it. Mitch came from Paid in Full. I don't know if you ever seen that. Paid in Full is the movie with Mekhi Pfifer and stuff like that. It's basically about drug dealers from Harlem and stuff like that. So Mekhi Pfifer, he was like, it was just his whole aura that got me. Like how he was, how he moved. He was well calculated. Like how he was all about his fucking money and don't play with my money. That's like, you know, I'm gut like that. You know, if somebody's fucking with my shit. So I took Mitch from there, and then I was smoking weed one day, and that's how I came over Malibu. I was high. It just sounded good when I said it together. But Malibu is like the bubbly side of me. I'm very bubbly, and I'm fun, and I like to say mad jokes. I don't take myself too serious, you know? But then when it comes to my music, my family, my friends, don't fuck with it. You gotta meet Mitch. On my hooks and stuff, like I like to do, I don't like to say pop and stuff like that because I think hip hop is like, we broad in this motherfucker too. Like, you know, so like I go very Malibu-ish on my hooks. And then when my verses, you're gonna hear Mitch all damn day. And one day I'm gonna do like a joint album where I'm beefing with myself, like Mariah Carey, how she did with herself. Yeah, I wanna deck me in my face one time. Everybody thinks I'm Spanish. I think it's because my accent, I'm from the Bronx, but no. My dad is Vietnamese and Filipino. My mom's black. I used to do a lot of like, you know, I was like a little hood girl. I used to be outside fighting and doing mad stuff like that. So I like put that into my music, you know. I'm mad blunt. It's in your face. Like my music is basically like me venting, you know. And being from the Bronx, I got, you know, that Bronx attitude. So I'm just like, fuck it, whatever flies, I'm gonna put it in there. Yeah, girl fights and jumping in when my homies would be fighting. They used to like rip. That's really graphic, but they used to rip and it wouldn't go back for like 2-3 weeks. It was horrible, but you know, you got used to it. Shootouts. It's just so much stuff that I'm not ashamed of it, but it just is like, people don't think that because I'm like cute, I guess. They just think, you know, but it's a lot of us like this that look like this in the Bronx. And then we'll get it shaken though. The reason why I started rapping was actually because my high school best friend, she was a rapper all her life and stuff like that. So like she got me rapping. She called me one day with a Gucci Man wasted freestyle. She rapped on that and then I was like, oh, that was fire, I want to try it. She was like, all right, go ahead. And I called her back and she was like, yo, that was fire. And so the attention she gave me from it. And then I used to be in the projects rapping with guys too. And then I saw the attention they were giving me for it. And then I was like, you know what, I could do this. It's called Vietnam Projects. That's not the actual project name, but they call it Vietnam because back in the day, people used to push stuff off the roof of the project. So they used to call it like dropping bombs. They used to drop refrigerators, fucking couches, everything off the roofs. It's other ways out the Bronx. Like, you know, like you don't just gotta keep, like if you are in a predicament like that, you can always get yourself out. That's why I want to put always in my music and with the message period about me, you know. It's so funny, my man actually came up with the idea. I wanted to remix mad female songs, old school rappers, but I just didn't know like what to remix and stuff like that. So, and he already knew my voice and stuff like that. So he was like, oh, you should do Crush on You. I was like, you sure? He was like, yeah. And then I did it. And it's crazy because my writing style and my voice changed completely. Like I always saw that I was just getting a lot of attention from females but not so much of guys. And you know, I'm from the hood. I want guys to be able to respect me just like because I be outside running with a bunch of guys, you know. I want them to be jamming to my music and stuff. So I put my voice a little deeper on Crush on You and then everybody started fucking with it. And then the Gotta Get You Home, the rest of the remixes, I just kept it going and it just blew up. I didn't expect Top 5 to do that, period. It like literally just blew out of the water. In a matter of like 3-4 months, I grew like 100K followers. So it was just crazy. Before I started rapping or whatever, I used to just be on Twitter talking shit. Like literally just running my mouth and doing just a bunch of bullshit on Twitter I should have never did. In return, like I guess I started getting mad followers from that. So then one day when I actually did start rapping, I put up one of my freestyles on this site that used to like be with Twitter, and they used to like you could upload your music, basically like how MySpace used to do. So I uploaded my music, and then Cashflow Harlem, shout out to him. He was like, yo, Rough Riders wants to sign you. And I'm like, stop lying. And he was like, no, I'm dead serious. Then out of nowhere, I was like, whatever. I was ignoring it. I was thinking he was lying. Then mad other guys started hitting me up. So one day I'm in Popeyes and I write it on Twitter. I'm like, oh, in Popeyes on 145th. Cashflow Harlem's like, I'm coming right now. I'm 5 minutes away. And I'm like, what the hell? He comes and he was like, yo, I'm dead serious. Like, they really want to sign you, Rough Riders and Swizz. They wanna do an album and everything. And I'm like, all right. And then I was like, I'll do it. They signed me. They found one of my freestyles I did to Ludacris, How Low Can You Go? And it had 300 plays, like literally. And then they signed me off of that. I met D from Rough Riders that day. And then like a week later, I met Swizz. And then after that week, I was in the studio with Swizz and DMX. So it was just bananas. Like the fundamentals of like everything I learned with them. Like, you know, just learning how to be an artist, I learned with them because they're old school. So, you know, now labels don't have artist in development. I learned through with them. So it was like that old school, like, get it now. Like, you got to get it while it's hot. So like, but it was like they was trying to make me like Eve, you know? And I love Eve, but it was just like I'm not that. So, and then they wanted to write my stuff, which I hated. That was a big issue for me. So after I was signing a contract with them for 2 years, I left them after like 6 months. Every experience that I went through, like with Rough Riders and Island Def Jam, being indie, I learned how to hustle being indie, like, you know? So like, it was just like a big learning experience for me to be able to do it now with Atlantic. I learned a lot. Like I said, I've been rapping for so many years. Nobody wanted to hear female rappers. Like, all they cared about was Nicki. And then everybody that came up after Nicki, it was like, you had to be as good as Nicki. And, you know, that's hard for a lot of people, like, you know. So it was like, you know, I kept getting closed, my face closed in the door and stuff like that because I felt like labels were too scared. They were too scared to, you know, fuck with another female. Like, and so I think with Cardi, why I love it so much is because like they couldn't tell that girl no because she was on Instagram making all those videos. So she was gonna do her music regardless. So it was like, it was gonna get put out. It was gonna do all of the same shit. So somebody needs to back her, like, you know, and I'm just happy because she opened up the door for a lot of female rappers. I'm just happy like people wanna hear other females now, you know.